Okay, we can all agree that creating content in your business online takes time, right? It's not just as simple as I press a button, my content goes out, everything just works and it's magical. No, it takes time. But we also know, as online business owners in particular, that online we need people to find us. That's where we get our traffic. That's where we get our leads. That's where we find clients and customers, is online. And so creating content is the no-brainer way for, to create a circumstance where people can find us easily. Unless you have a brick and mortar store that people walk by and look at and go, oh, this looks cute, go inside and buy something, you need to create an environment where people are finding you online. And for me, the simplicity of that is what makes online business so fun. So tell me why, even though YouTube is the most powerful way to build your audience online because of the power of the organic reach and the simplicity of how easy it is to create content that people can find, why do so many business owners go, I'm not sure about this. I'm not ready for YouTube. I can't possibly put a video on YouTube this week or this month or ever. And I've been doing this for 10 years. I know there's a lot of reasons why, but what I have noticed lately, and I'll be honest with you, this has been a blind spot for me, and I'll explain why. But what I have noticed lately is that it's very hard for people to see how YouTube could possibly be worth their time because of the amount of time it takes to create videos, and because YouTube is a marathon, not a sprint. So on this episode of Video Brand Infusion, I want to talk about how to make YouTube worth your time, meaning the time you put into creating the content actually results in traffic, leads, and sales. So if you watched my last episode, you know that I was at a business conference last week and we did a lot of mindset stuff. My last episode was all about like the mental blocks for creating content and the reasons why your brain tells you you can't possibly create YouTube videos, and the struggles with like perfectionism and people pleasing and all of the ways that our brain tries to protect us from ridicule, right? From embarrassing ourselves or saying something stupid, and how in the year 2025 and beyond, that like imperfect authenticity is proof that we're human, and it's so important and so impactful. But there's this unsaid block, this unsaid belief that I'm starting to see as a recurring pattern, a recurring thing that keeps coming up when I talk to business owners who are doing Reels, doing Instagram, doing Facebook, doing everything but YouTube. Let's just be honest. And it also comes up in my membership inside, my meetups in Video Brand Academy or in the community. And I also see it in the exit surveys of people who cancel their membership to Video Brand Academy. No one's really saying it, but reading between the lines, it seems that it's hard to believe, or people have experienced that YouTube is not worth their time because it takes time to create a YouTube video, edit it, publish it, so on and so forth. It can't possibly be worth my time. There can't possibly be an ROI. And if I'm being totally honest, this has been a blind spot for me, meaning because I've been helping people with YouTube for years now, I've been doing YouTube myself. I have clients where I'm a YouTube strategist. I'm helping business owners YouTubeify their business, right? YouTube has always paid off for me. So the idea that there's a belief that somehow it's not going to work for me, and so I shouldn't put my time and energy into it, like it never occurred to me that people might think that is true, because it's always paid off for me. If you're not familiar with how I got started on YouTube, I wanted to be a blogger. I had a full-time job. I started publishing a blog post and YouTube videos every week. I wanted to build up my blog to the point where I could make enough money to quit my job. And then I actually lost my job and just kind of kept going with the content creation stuff. But when I first started, I had a blog post. I was on Facebook. I was doing Instagram. I was doing Twitter. I was doing Pinterest. Oh my God, the amount of time I spent on Pinterest pins. Yikes. But I was also doing YouTube every week, a new video every week to go along with the blog post. And YouTube was the only platform that was doing anything, that was like actually getting traffic, views, likes, comments, subscribers. So it became very clear early on in my YouTube journey that YouTube was the place to be. And even before I had any course, program, anything to sell, I started building my email list. Even before I had something to sell, like my own course or a program, or my first thing was a ebook. And before I had anything to sell, I was building my list. So I was gaining subscribers and building my email list. All of that traffic was coming from YouTube. Most of it. Well, some of it came from the blog, but most of it was coming from YouTube. So from day one, YouTube has been paying off for me. Like, even when I had no idea what I was doing, YouTube was paying off for me. Now, looking back, I can attribute that early and quick success with the basics of search engine optimization. I built a spider web of content on my channel. This is what I teach inside of Video Brand Academy. I've talked about the spider web here before on my channel as well, but it all came down to creating content that solved problems people were searching for, that answered questions that people were searching for. But things are a little different now. SEO is not dead, it's just different. But things are a little different now on YouTube than they were 10 years ago. So I want to talk about how, if you are a business owner, an online business owner, course creator, membership site owner, author, consultant, public speaker, how to make YouTube actually worth your time in terms of generating revenue in your business. It's not like there is a baseline number of, if you publish 12 videos, you will gain X number of subscribers, or have however many views, or have ABC number of leads and sales, right? It's so niche dependent, and long form YouTube content is such a interpersonal communication type of a platform that it's like there's a million different variables. And so there's no baseline of if you start YouTube today, you can expect, X number of whatever results you're looking for. But even though it's been, 10 years since I started this channel, which means 10 years since I was a beginner at this, but 10 years since I had a channel at zero, 0 videos, 0 subscribers, 0 views. It's been a long time since I was a beginner. I recently started a whole new brand new channel, a month ago. And even though I have not set goals or expectations for that channel, I'll be honest with you, I'm 4 videos in. I have 78 or so views. If you pay attention to my content and watch it all the way through, you too might learn what the new channel is. I'm not trying to use this channel to fuel that one. I really want it to be good, clean metrics, so that I can use it as a great example of strategies and growth and things inside of Video Brand Academy. But also, you don't want people subscribing to your channel that aren't genuinely interested in the content. And I have a couple, maybe 2 or 3 more videos that I've already recorded that I need to post, and I don't really feel the motivation to do it, because I'm kind of okay, the novelty has worn off. Do I even want to continue doing this? Was I crazy for even starting this new channel, for putting the time into this new channel? And when I think about my clients and students who have really put in the work of planning, titles, script, record, edit, thumbnails, publish, and they get 1 video up and 2 videos up and 3 videos up, and it feels really good, there's always this black hole. And what I'm experiencing is the same exact thing that I see with my clients and students and members of Video Brand Academy. We get excited, we plan the titles, the script, we design the thumbnail, we record, we edit, we get over all of the mental hurdles in our way from doing all of that, which is a lot. by the way, if you have even recorded a YouTube video with the intention to publish it, you have overcome so many mental hurdles that most people would never overcome. Okay. So that aside, we do all of this stuff, we publish the videos, and then it gets to be like 4-ish videos in, and we hit this black hole of like maybe the novelty wore off a little bit, or maybe you thought your channel was going to blow up, and every time you look at the analytics, you've got more and more subscribers and you've got comments and stuff. 4 videos in, 5 videos is not enough time. It's not enough data to make any kind of decision about whether something is working or not. The only way forward to make YouTube worth your time, once you've gotten to the point where you've started the channel and you have a few videos up, the only thing you can do to make YouTube worth your time is keep going. Keep making the videos that you planned. Keep making the videos that you were so excited about when you were planning your videos. And start looking at not what were my expectations, but what are my actual goals. A lot of people kind of treat 1,000 subscribers or getting monetized as like the first YouTube milestone. That could take months or years. And if you have a business where you have a course, a membership, a book, a consulting business, coaching business, whatever, the number of subscribers is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you're monetized on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 subscribers. The name of the game for your business, for my business, for business in general, is traffic. You just need traffic. To get traffic, you need views. To get views, you need to publish videos. If you're going to do this organically, because you could pay for traffic, you could run Facebook ads, you could run Google ads and YouTube ads, and you could spend a lot of money and hope that the traffic pays off for you and you have ROI on the traffic and leads that you gain that way. But if you're following me, if you're watching me, it's because you actually do want to build an audience with the content you create, not just buy an audience with the ads that you create, right? And so in order to have traffic to your lead magnets and to your courses and programs, you have to build that audience so that you get the power of all of the organic goodness of YouTube. So forget expectations and set an actual goal, because if you don't know what you're shooting for, then you're always going to be disappointed. The novelty is going to wear off and stay off because your expectations are just bars where you're just like moving up and you're never really reaching a goal or a milestone. You're just moving the finish line forward. Once you have a goal that is an actual metric, like something you can actually track and measure because it's a number, now you can evaluate all of the stepping stones that you need to hit in order to reach that goal. It's not just, I publish a video and I make sales. There's a flow of traffic. Like there's human beings that watch your videos, and there's a flow of traffic through your metrics that you can track. So for example, inside of Video Brand Academy, we have I call it my Fix My Channel flow chart. I used to have a paper copy of it handy, but I don't at the moment. But it's like a decision tree. It's the exact decision tree that I use with my private clients when they're like, I need help fixing my channel. It's not working for me. There's a decision tree of exactly which metrics to look at. Where's your traffic coming from? What are your impressions? What is the click-through rate? What is the views? What are the views? What is the 30-second retention rate? All of those metrics, it's kind of like a doctor ordering labs for you. It doesn't give you like the whole picture of the patient, but the metrics kind of tell a story of what's going on there. And even off of YouTube, when you have like lead magnets and offers and courses and things that you're selling, you have traffic to those pages. You have the actual opt-in rate that people opt into something. You have the conversion rate of people who hit the sales page and then actually purchased. And when you track those numbers, usually you can see where the fall off points are so that you can fix them, so that you can edit your landing page or start improving your, the opening hooks of your videos to get your 30-second retention higher so people stay longer. When people stay longer, YouTube is a lot more likely to put your video in front of more and more people, right? There's like all these like green flags that happen at these different stages when you have a goal that you're measuring and you know what those numbers are, then you can figure out where the ball is being dropped and fix it. So if you want to make sure that YouTube is worth your time as a business owner, you have to track those metrics. That's why I put a stat sheet inside of the YouTube roadmap inside of Video Brand Academy. So if you're a VBA member, are you tracking your stats? Look, I don't track all of my stats, right? I don't do that weekly. There are certain metrics in my business that I track weekly. I'm not looking at, what are my views? What are my impressions? And how did that translate to conversions? Why? I already mentioned it. It's because I already know that YouTube pays off for me because it has from the very beginning. Right? I already know that YouTube pays off for me. Now, if you set a goal and you're tracking your metrics and you're fixing the places where things are falling off, especially if you are a VBA member, you have all of the strategies in there to fix your click-through rate, fix your 30-second retention, drive more impressions to your channel so that you can increase. Like you have all those resources, right? But even if your metrics look good, but you're spending like 10 hours a week creating your long form content, then still you could eventually get to a point where you're like, you know what, the 10 hours a week I'm spending is not really paying off for me in terms of actual return on the investment of that time. And you know what's so funny to me is like people are more than happy to spend hours a week on Zoom with their paid clients and students, but freak out at the idea of spending an hour recording a long form YouTube video that their VA can edit for them or that they can edit quickly in Descript. Like I mentioned, I went to California last week for a business conference, and this was a 2-day conference. It was a 3-day conference for some people. So you have flight time, you have the expense of flights, hotel, plus 2 or 3 long days in a room, but you don't have time to create a YouTube video once a week. Just hit record, just open Zoom if you want and hit record. Use your phone if you want and just hit record. Even if you ignored everything that I teach about SEO and like planning your content and coming up with juicy titles and click-worthy thumbnails, like even if you ignored all of that stuff, solving the problems of your ideal clients and customers is never a bad strategy. Answering the common questions that they are literally typing in and searching for is never going to be a bad strategy. Whether it takes you 10 minutes with an unedited, unscripted video or a couple of hours in a more polished video, it's never a bad strategy to just show up, answer the questions, solve the problems that people are searching to solve in your business. You solve it all day long with your clients and students on Zoom. If you can get on a Zoom call, you can create YouTube videos. If you can create your course videos, even without your face, you can create YouTube videos. My new channel right now, the one with the 4 videos, they're all faceless, not really on purpose, just because I didn't feel like doing my hair and makeup, but I did feel like recording videos that particular day. So I did it without my face. If you can record your screen for your course or program, you can make YouTube videos. And when you build this library of videos on your channel that your ideal clients and customers can find, the more you have, the easier it is for YouTube to recommend you. It works in the background. It's not something that if you don't publish a video this week, the algorithm is going to forget who you are. This isn't Instagram. The algorithm is not going to forget who you are because the videos that you have created up until now are going to continue getting views. In fact, if you've been doing YouTube for a while and you have lots of videos on there, open your analytics. Look at your top 10 videos in the last 28 days and tell me, are they recent uploads or are they from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago? Look at long form videos, not shorts, which is a whole other soapbox that I'm not going to get on right now. That's a topic for another video. Now, the YouTube strategist in me is cringing right now at the idea of like, I love all the strategy that goes into YouTube. The SEO, triggering the algorithm, creating juicy titles, thumbnail psychology, like all of that stuff is so much fun. But I want to make sure that you hear what I'm saying. Even if you ignored all of that stuff and all you did was answer the common questions of your ideal clients and customers, solve the problems that they're looking to have solved, specific topics, simple videos, you might be surprised at how effective that will be. I'm not saying just make videos on whatever you feel like making videos on without having a strategy and bouncing around all over the place and not having a spider web. But I am talking about being very specific about the topics you create being the things that people are actually searching for and actively trying to solve. You're going to have a goal, you're going to measure, you're going to keep it simple. And in 6 weeks, you can go into your YouTube studio and look at your top videos and figure out what actually worked. What got the most views? What got the most comments, the most likes, the most subscribes? And use that as a gauge to come up with your next set of content, right? That's sort of part of the snowball strategy that I teach inside of Video Brand Academy. It's missing a couple of steps and a few nuances there. But to make YouTube worth your time, you have to make content that's worth YouTube to promote, right? And so when you know what's working and what's getting views and the algorithm is based entirely on viewer behavior, then you can kind of build up this momentum with the algorithm so that the videos you created already and the videos that you create moving forward start to gain more and more views over time. It works in the background. It compounds. It's not a hamster wheel like all of the other platforms out there. And one of my old sayings inside Video Brand Academy is, as my audience grows, my income flows. So how do we actually tie this to revenue, actual results in your business and revenue in your business? Well, you're not just growing your audience, right? You're on YouTube to grow your business. And that's why creating a very simple 2-step set it and forget it YouTube funnel is so powerful on YouTube, because you have this billboard video, as I like to call it, pinned at the top of your channel. It's very laser targeted to your ideal clients, your ideal students, and really cohesive with your offer, so that as your audience grows, that audience finds you, they find your channel, they find that billboard video, and there's this organic flow of, oh, I know, like, and trust this person because of their content. They have a personality that I enjoy. I'd like to work with them. Now they have this other video and now they have this offer. And I've taught the YouTube funnel concept before in a course. I'm getting ready to put together a whole YouTube funnel playbook inside of Video Brand Academy. But I also trained my YouTubeify Your Business custom GPT to actually help you figure out what your YouTube funnel could or should be, like what's actually going to work for you to get leads and sales, and will work on YouTube. So I'll put a link to my YouTubeify Your Business custom GPT down below. There's no opt-in. It's completely free. You can save it to the sidebar of your chat GPT and use it anytime. But if you truly want to make YouTube work for you, for your business, and actually pay off, make it worth your time, let's start creating an environment and a scenario on your channel that makes it easy for people to find you and easy for YouTube to work for you and bring people straight to your world, your list, your offer, your membership, your course or program. If you want YouTube to be an easy traffic driver for your business to generate revenue in your business, you have to make it easy for YouTube to work for you, to drive traffic. So I'll put a link to the YouTubeify Your Business GPT down in the description below this video. And if you already have funnels set up, but you're not 100% sure what to post on your channel to actually drive traffic to them, I'll also link to my 3x4 method free training that's inside of VBA. So you can actually see some of the strategy that goes into figuring out what topics to post on your channel that are going to attract the right people and actually work on YouTube. So you're not just like throwing spaghetti on the wall, crossing your fingers and hoping that something works out.